For those that follow our channel know, we bought, at the time, was probably about the cheapest 4-bedroom house in France, and it had been abandoned for about 30 years, and it was technically inhabitable, although you could argue it was short on practically every modern convenience. But it was a pretty nice house. Now, there are reasons why houses get abandoned. In fact, there are a whole host of reasons why houses get abandoned, and there wasn't exactly a queue of people waiting to buy this house. I mean, the problem was it clearly didn't meet the regulations at the time, and as you can see, there are wires hanging out the wall. Oh, hello, Mr. Lizards. I mean, you couldn't anticipate what the regulations were at the time, and as you can see, we've recently had fibre optics installed into this house. I mean, who could anticipate that this house would have needed fibre optics 30 years ago when it was abandoned? And that's a problem. You don't know the regulations at the time, but the longer you leave a house, the more problems it's going to have. And as you can see, the plaster is falling off this house, and it is no longer a problem. It is an urgent requirement that this house gets restored now, because the longer it's left, the more of a problem it is, and this is now desperate, because if it's not done now, this house will collapse. Have you ever had one of those renovation challenges you've put off for so long you just can't avoid it any longer? We've been looking at this particular room not just for months but years, and every time we look at it we just sigh. I'm not exaggerating when I say this room is essentially a conduit. Water, electricity, and even smoke pass through this room. We got a chimney going through it. So one of the most frustrating parts is we're not just addressing the systems for the rest of the house, like the electricity for the attic, the electricity for the bedroom next door, things like that, water for a toilet in the other corner of the house. We'd also be insulating the dining room downstairs, would be insulating the bathroom next door. So there's an awful lot going on elsewhere that is nothing to do with this bedroom or hobby room at all. So it's a lot more than a decorating job. And because this house is clearly a fan of problems, it's got cluster flies. It's got loads of them. The kind of flies that swarm in and they think spacious means the entire house. They find every little crack and every little gap, and I think they've been planning their invasion for decades. We didn't sign up for this kind of pest control, but yet here they are. Right, so let's talk about our next nemesis, insulation. This house had as much insulation as, an ice cube, for instance. So we've had great success in other parts of the house, so we're going to continue it in this room. And we're going to insulate this wall, we're going to insulate the floor, and we're going to insulate the ceiling. We're not going to insulate the external walls, but yeah, we're going to insulate everything we possibly can with as much insulation as we can. Now, don't get me started on the plumbing and heating system. The chimney is unlined and is starting to collapse. It is right next door to a bed. Yeah, that would be safe at night, wouldn't it? Health and safety. Yeah, brilliant. Now, the cast iron radiator. That is full of cracks. It is from the 1950s. It was connected to lead pipes. They were all crumblier than month-old bread. More issues to deal with. When houses remain empty for a long time, they require all sorts of upgrades that become no longer optional, like this. This piece of wire used to run an outside light, and came off. Now it's that fragile. This uninsulated wire sits in one of these grooves, and there used to be a lot of them, and It is now so fragile, I can probably break it. Just that easy. It is that fragile. And yeah, if I'd have put power through it, it would have just popped and crackled like popcorn. Yeah, look at that. It's just that fragile. So yeah, that used to run a big flood lamp outside. So yeah, that is probably 80 years old. Only one of the 4 bedrooms had an electrical socket, and this was one of the 2 bedrooms had an electrical light. But the light switch used to glow so brightly it used to scorch the wallpaper. There's a huge amount of damp below this window, and the mortar is starting to come apart, and that's probably due to a leaky window in the attic. So I expect all of that is all going to have to come off. The floorboards, they're fun. They got so much woodworm, you just don't know which foot's going to go through next. They're like an open invitation to get intimate with whoever's downstairs, really. As you can see, most of them bend when you put your foot on them. If you think it was the Swedish that invented flat pack furniture, think again, because these grand old wardrobes from times gone by, they are works of art. We saw a wardrobe in a brocante the other day, and the fittings that hold these things together, they were rose hips and acorns, literally brass works of art. But yeah, I've got to take this one apart, and I'm going to do it on my own. And they are really, really heavyweight pieces of kit. The sides and the backs of them, they are truly solid, pieces of, furniture. So hopefully it just doesn't all disassemble and flatten me as I go. So yeah, wish me luck. What's in the locker, cocker? It's going. What have we got? Could be something, could be nothing. Oh, what have we got? Yucky. What on earth is that? Ooh. That is... Wait. Oh, it's a candle. It's a candle, everyone. Not that exciting. It's rather grim looking. Yeah, yucky. We have got... It's a 1 franc coin from 1958. It's very light. There's hardly any weight to it whatsoever. There we go. I'll see if we will focus. There you go. 1 franc from 1958. We've got this one's heavier. A 1 franc coin from 1932. There we go. Proper treasure. What is this? Don't know what that says. My French is terrible. Les montants de passe, 5 francs sont payés domicile. All orders with a value of less than 5 francs are paid at the customer's home address. Claims relating to lost mandates are admissible only for 1 year from the date of issue. The receipt issued in exchange for a radio fusion discharges the mandate payer vis-a-vis, I can't see what that says, Artat 1911, 30th of April, probably 1940. Yeah, some other dates in there, 29th of March 1920. So yeah, what else we got on there? 18th of the 3rd, looks like 18 occurs. So another mandate receipt. So very old. And what we got here? 191. Oh, a photo. That's cool. A child, probably a mum, and a dog. We're using our bargain wallpaper stripper from the Brocante to get the rather tasteful, what's it? What do you reckon it is? 1940s wallpaper?
I couldn't hazard a guess knowing French wallpaper.
Yeah.
It could be quite modern.
Yeah. It's well, I reckon it's quite old. It might even be earlier. So yeah, it's due to come off, I reckon. So
You're right.
yeah, it's coming off a treat, isn't it?
It is. It won't budge at all without this.
No. My worry is when we get to the corner of the room, because the corner over there, that was the corner where the window and the gutter were both leaking, because the gutter was swinging in the breeze when we viewed the house and the window was missing. So that corner the wallpaper could be the only thing holding the corner of the room up.
Well, if that's the case, it desperately needs doing there.
Yeah. As you can see, Mandy stripped all the wallpaper off around the window, and yeah, the plaster's pretty loose here, and that could be where the flies were getting in, but I've got a suspicion they're coming in through the fireplace. And as we move over to the corner, there is some damp around here, and if I tap here, it's pretty solid, but if I move over to the corner, it's a completely different sound. It's rather hollow, and that's because all the plaster is what they call blown. Yeah, it's detached from the wall, and I wouldn't have to tap very hard there, and all that plaster would simply just drop to the floor. This wardrobe doesn't come apart.
Well, it does come apart, however, it's nailed together.
Yeah, so it's
literally would have to.
It's not like designer flat pack.
No.
So the plan is to sort of like swivel it in multiple angles and let it just drop and fall on us without flattening us.
No. Controlled
in a controlled fashion. That's the plan.
Yeah,
so,
and also we can't just tilt it like that because it hits the ceiling.
Yeah, because it is huge and probably weighs 4 times as much as the pair of us. Yeah, it is several hundred kilos. Yeah, because the backs of it are probably thicker than the front. They've made it out of the heaviest wood they can find. So, yeah, wish us luck. So, swivel. Pivot. So this way first.
Which way?
You
need to go that way.
I need to go this way.
You need to go this way.
Last time we did this, it literally
went through the
floorboards. Over.
Timber.
So.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh my God, that is heavy. Oh,
should I put the board underneath or something? Or?
Yeah, you get the board, I'll hold it.
It's literally so we can pick it up and that way?
Yeah.
No, please.
Yeah, that way.
Okay. Okay, I've got it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipping heck.
It's a heavy old wardrobe.
Doesn't the room look bigger with all the wallpaper gone and the huge wardrobe's gone?
Yeah, and also we were just saying that we've moved the wardrobe into our bedroom for now.
Yeah.
And it looks quite small in there.
yeah. It gives us the impetus though to get this room done.
This now desperately needs doing, and then we can get the wardrobe out of there.
Yeah.
So my first job is the electric off, that one.
Yeah, that's
right.
well and true. That's been dead for 40 years.
So in that case, I'm going to take this ceiling down.
Ooh. You likes a bit of bashy.
I does. But alright, so I'm going to find my mask. And I know there's going to be all sorts of creatures that have been living.
Yeah, we had bees in the first bedroom, dead creatures and a broken ceiling beam in the second bedroom. So
let's see what we've got a lot of woodworm in here. It's in the floor. It was in that wardrobe, which I've actually treated with woodworm treatment.
Yeah, so
I think this might be a bit of a woodworm
fest
room. Yeah, well, I mean, it's had it. If you have a look here, it's had it previously where they've patched the floor up with all sorts of weird and wonderful things.
yeah, a bit of steel there.
Cans, and all along here, this looks like. In fact, I'm going to get the crowbar.
Yeah, there's a sardine tin which they've used over here, and all sorts. So, and they've used, they've actually cemented over the boards. Oh my heavens!
Yeah, so they've had woodworm in the past, and all they've done is put zinc over it, and you can see there how.
Oh, that's just totally rotten.
Yeah.
So they've not bothered to repair it. They've just
put zinc over the top of it.
Yeah, whatever they had to hand.
All the way along there. So yeah, the floor has got to come up.
Yeah.
Hopefully the beams will be all right, because if there's rot on this, that it might have gone into the beams down below, and we'll see what the ones upstairs are like, because we know that attic window was open and leaking.
Yeah.
So, right, mask and ceiling down, and then we'll see where we go from there.
As you can see, the ceiling is lard and plaster. And Mandy does like a bashy.
There's a bit of woodworm on that beam.
Oh, great. So not a good start, really.
Well, I'm expecting it, so.
Yeah.
No surprises.
Yeah, it's how many beams we have to replace, basically, is the question, isn't it? Oh. I'm getting showered in dust and stuff, so.
Dust, no.
Yeah, it is probably droppings.
Yeah.
We had a bet on what the beams were going to be like, and it turns out they're not full of woodworm, they're not full of rot, they're not totally water damaged or anything like that. It just turns out they haven't used the best quality beams in the first place.
Yeah,
so,
quite surprising, really, isn't it?
Yeah, quite surprising. Yeah. I mean, considering the Creuse is the land of forest and woodland, they could have picked.
Yeah, I don't think these were ever for show. And if you look at the beams so far, you can see they're really wavy, and they've put battens underneath to level the ceiling. So I don't think they were ever for show.
No. Yeah.
But surprisingly good condition. Happy days.
Yeah. Hello, Grandpa. This is a grandfather clock, and it's got no face. We bought it at Bacon for about €20, and what we're going to do is use it to cover all the electrics, and as you can see, the face is off the conduit at the moment. And we started about 2 years ago, and some of the labels on the cables have faded, which is a bit annoying, but I'll be able to work it out. And the the conduit comes up here, and we're going to continue that conduit up through the coving into the room upstairs, because the room upstairs is a bit of a hub, and that conduit will go through up into the attic, maybe into the rooms next door, and basically everywhere across the house. And we thought 33 trips, that'd be plenty for the rest of the house, but we think we're going to end up with about 60 or 66 trips. And those trips are distributed across the three phases, and you need to sort of balance those trips as well across, each one of the phases. So what I'm doing is I'm planning all of that and carefully labelling them all up. Well, that was quite a few cups of coffee getting that in there. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm going around and I'm measuring all the lengths of the walls, all the heights of the ceiling, the gaps between the floors and things like that. And what I'm then doing is I'm going to imagine where things like furniture is going to go that we haven't bought yet. I'm going to imagine where sockets and light switches are going to go, whether they're double light switches, single light switches, etc, etc. I'm then going to work out where optimum cable routes are going to go. I'm then going to draw up a spreadsheet of shopping list of all the things we got to buy. From there we can start routing all the cables and things like that, and that's going to take a considerable amount of time, because there is quite a list of them, and we can work from there. And it's going to take a considerable amount of time, because it is quite a challenge, because there's probably going to be hundreds and hundreds of meters of this stuff to lay. We could have just stripped the wallpaper off this room and put new wallpaper up. We could have put some laminate floor down and put fresh in, and we could have just cleaned this room up and done a quick bodge it and leg it and scarper, couldn't we?
We could have.
We could have.
However,
it really needed to be done properly.
Yeah.
So we've stripped it right back to its bare bones.
We've nearly stripped it back to the bare bones. The ceiling's down. The smell's now gone, actually.
Yeah,
noticed?
It smells lovely clean and fresh in here, doesn't it?
So so it's back to the basics. We'll strip everything out, strip everything down, and then start building it back up.
Because after all, this is our forever home, isn't it?
This is... everything we do now is only making the house stronger and better.
For the future.
For the future, and, it'll outsee us.
Yeah.
If we do it properly.
If we do it, yeah.
If we just, like you say, bodge it and leg it, then it's going to start deteriorating, falling
really
down
quickly.
Around our feet, really.
Yeah, because we don't want to end up downstairs.
No.
So...
yeah, and that's a very big possibility.
It's still a bit springy.
Don't bounce.
Don't bounce, yeah. So we're doing it proproperly for the future. So
we've had a good week. The weather's been absolutely fantastic as well. So I've been outside a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But the next week's going to rain, so I will definitely be in here giving it some more hoo-ha.
Yeah. So, as usual, folks, give it a bit of the old like and subscribe.
He does like that.
I do like a bit of that, and leave a comment or two. So.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.